What is going on, my fellow gamers, nerds, geeks, wrestling marks, and everything in between? This is a ringside edition of Gaming Ringside with Bigfoot. This is my WrestleMania reaction video. And I gotta honestly say, the most exciting thing about tonight will more than likely be you having to look at this ridiculous mask on my head. Yeah, that's right, because I gotta say, it didn't live up to the hype. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to disagree with a lot of the things I'm going to say, but I've been a wrestling fan since I was 4 years old, and man, has it, WWE, it's love-hate. It really is. There's no in-between. So many missed opportunities tonight. Everything that happened was very, very predictable. Everything that I predicted pretty much happened exactly to the wire. From Daniel Bryan winning the Intercontinental Championship to John Cena winning the U.S. title and to Seth Rollins cashing in at the end of the night. So freaking predictable. But perhaps the thing that bothered me the most was the match between Sting and Triple H. Wow. And it's funny because I went on Twitter and throughout the show I was tweeting and using the hashtags and all that stuff. And during that match, I saw people with positive reactions. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe it is just me. But, man, during that Sting match, it's all that interference, the DX and the NWO and all that. I mean, really. In my opinion, that could have been saved for the Raw before or maybe even a SmackDown. I don't know. Access, who cares? The point is, I wanted to see a one-on-one match between Trips and Sting. I mean, I guess the interference thing was cool, but to a point. But then at the end with the handshake, really, the handshake. Maybe the interference was cool to an extent, and then the handshake completely killed it. At that point, I wanted to turn it off. I didn't want to see any more. Quality of the matches. I guess the ladder match was decent. Daniel Bryan winning. I mean, I pretty much read that it was going to happen exactly that way. What they're trying to do, I know what WWE is trying to do. WWE is trying to make the Intercontinental Championship and the U.S. Championship legitimate again. They're trying to make it mean something again. So what better way than to make the Intercontinental, but what better way to make the Intercontinental belt mean something than to put it on Daniel Bryan, and what better way to make the U.S. title mean something than to put it on the poster boy John Cena? I get that. I think that with that happening, I think that Brock Lesnar isn't going anywhere. I believe that it's pretty much been confirmed that he's signed on for another 65 or some odd dates that he always signs every year. Rollins winning the championship. I mean, who didn't see that coming? If you saw that show, if you went to that show and you didn't know that was going to happen, I mean, come on, you're living under a rock somewhere. As far as the quality of the show, pretty good. The stadium looked pretty. It was not my favorite WrestleMania set of all time, but it was it was decent. Just very very predictable show overall. Very very predictable show. Paul Heyman, top of his game as always. I was more entertained watching him be the freaking valet than I was during the match, to be completely honest. I'd say honestly, the most important the most entertaining segment of the night for me had to have been Ronda Rousey, getting in the ring with The Rock. The Rock coming out and telling Triple H and Stephanie how it is. That was pretty entertaining. My prediction on that is I think that they're kind of throwing out feelers to the WWE Universe on maybe a possible Trips Rock match next year. Those are the rumors. I think that after what happened tonight, I think we're definitely, given the fact that The Undertaker won his match against Bray Wyatt was on the top of his game. Whether he won that match or not, and I'm sure there's people out there right now, oh my God, Bray Wyatt should have won. Whether Bray Wyatt won or not, the fact that he is not the top heel in the WWE, in the company right now, is beyond me. I don't understand what they're waiting for, because Bray Wyatt is absolute money. The guy is money. He is on top of his game. He is ready. He is ready to do whatever you ask of him, and he's he's that guy. He's that next guy as far as heels go. I think that based on what happened with the match between him and The Undertaker, we're definitely going to get to see Sting and The Undertaker next year. I think that we may even see a tease or a build up to that sooner rather than later. As far as the Divas match goes, typical Divas match. It's nice to see them getting more time than usual. than what they were in the past, and it looks like this whole diva, hashtag diva movement or whatever it's called. It looks like it's really going to take off, and it's a good thing because the divas deserve their recognition. Those girls do work hard. I gotta say, once again, my overall feeling on WrestleMania, predictable. Honestly, I mean, it wasn't horrendous like some previous years WrestleManias have been, but it wasn't the best either. Like I said, just very predictable. Everything that I started watching the show with my predictions really confident as to what was going to happen. And usually at WrestleMania, there's at least one thing that happens that throws me completely off, and it's fun to watch. Like last year, I did not expect The Undertaker to lose to Brock Lesnar. This year, really, there was no surprises. Honestly, the most surprising thing was Ronda Rousey getting in the ring. To me, that was the most entertaining part of the night. I apologize if I'm sounding negative, or if it seems like I'm just looking to bash WWE. It's just that lately, WWE has just not been on top of its game as far as I'm concerned when it comes to the quality of the product, the storytelling. The storytelling just is not there anymore. So many missed opportunities. My biggest gripe is the Sting match. It really, I didn't like that there was interference, and I especially didn't like the handshake at the end. That was just complete utter BS. And all of a sudden, that build up, that seriousness that they put into it for all those, this last month, and right out the window. And then they wonder why fans are so in tune with there's no kayfabe anymore, as Trips put it. If you follow that, if you watch that podcast interview that he did with Steve Austin, well, I mean, you do things like that. It makes absolutely no sense, absolutely no sense whatsoever, to have booked the match the way that they did. As far as the interference is concerned, I'm sure that they did it because Sting can no longer wrestle a 20-minute match, and that's understandable. The guy's getting up there in age. I expected that Trips was going to carry him the entire time, but I didn't expect there to have to be interference so that Trips could get carried too. I mean, I'm assuming that's what happened. Maybe Trips had to get carried also because he's getting up there. Who knows? But just disappointed, really. Like I said, I'm sure many people are going to disagree, but I was really disappointed with that match. WrestleMania just didn't live up to the hype. As always, leave your comments below. Tell me, what you think. I want to hear what you guys feel about WrestleMania. Did WrestleMania 31 live up to the hype? Did it meet your expectations? Was it predictable? Were you surprised? What was your favorite moment? All that stuff. And don't be afraid to disagree with me, because I'm sure there's going to be many of you out there that are going to be like, I'm full of crap, and what the hell's wrong with me? That was the coolest thing they've ever seen. But as always, my fellow geeks and nerds, remember, always mark out with those controllers out. And I'll see y'all later.